Skybirds of Focus Communications, and this morning we're getting another update from FireFox Gold's chairman, Patrick Highsmith. FireFox Gold is a Finland gold explorer that trades on the Toronto Venture Stock Exchange under the symbol FFOX. Patrick, how are you doing today?
Good morning, Megan, and happy Valentine's Day. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm great. Now, to start things off, could you give our listeners an overview of FireFox and your portfolio of projects within the central Lapland Greenstone Belt in Finland?
Absolutely, Megan. It's our first interview of the year, I hope, of many. We expect it to be a busy year. FireFox is, as you mentioned, focused in Finland. We're a 100% focused gold explorer in the central Lapland Greenstone Belt in the north of Finland. Our management team is really based in Finland. Our CEO, our exploration manager are there. We operate in that time zone. We make our decisions in that time zone. And we have our CFO in Vancouver and myself here in North America as well. But it's really all about Finland, where we have a deep team there with lots of experience in the belt. We're very nimble, fast moving, and we've accumulated a lot of ground, a big land position for such a small company. And there's been a lot of news over the last couple of years about our Mustajärvi Discovery, which we'll just touch on briefly today and sort of looking back at the highlights from 2023 and upcoming news there. But we do have a big land position, and we also have a great shareholder roster, including Agnico Eagle Mines Limited, which is our second biggest shareholder after a strategic investment they did last year, and then Crescat Capital out of Denver. As far as our land position, it's shown here on this slide. We are in the Arctic of Finland, but the infrastructure there is incredible. You can see on the map the cities of Kittilä and Sodankylä, paved highways crisscrossing the area, an international airport here at Kittilä, just incredible infrastructure. Some of those highways passing through our properties, such as here at Mustajärvi and down here at our Yesio property. And you can see some of the other junior players. Rupert Resources here, who's made the important multi-million ounce Ikkari discovery. Here we have Orion Resources, their joint venture with B2 Gold, here shown in this sort of orange color. And then, of course, at the north of this slide, the Kittilä mine, Europe's largest gold mine, operated by Agnico Eagle, who is now a strategic shareholder in FireFox.
So tell us more about the deal with Agnico.
Yeah, look, we believe it's an important development to have a major gold producer, the third biggest gold producer in the world, as a major investor in FireFox. And really, it's a great story, Megan, in that our technical teams know each other well. It's a pretty small world in Finland. We know each other well, but yet it was a real process to get the deal done. It was announced in December of last year, where after several months of working together and getting to know each other, Agnico's team had been on the ground on our projects, in our databases, and going through a process of due diligence. And we believe, Megan, that that's a great signal for investors to think about when you see a major gold producer investing in a junior company. It implies that that group has exercised quite a lot of due diligence. They've investigated the projects, they've investigated the teams, they've been on the ground. And of course, being a major player in the gold industry, they understand what they're looking at. So we're thrilled to have a major company invest in FireFox. And they also, at the same time, optioned one of our properties, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But in general, what happened here was Agnico Eagle invested for about 11% of FireFox on an issued and outstanding basis. They did so at a significant premium to the market. We all know we've been in this doldrums of the exploration industry over the last number of months, and yet they came in and invested at a significant premium at the time in FireFox at 7.5 cents a share. And they also hold warrants, which on a partially diluted basis could take them up to 19% of the company. So that's very exciting. The team's been active on the ground, getting to know each other, as I said. And it's a great way really to end 2023 and to kick off 2024, having that cornerstone investor being a major mining company. It's really kind of a tried and true strategy, this concept of a junior explorer seeking out that big brother or that sort of support from a major company. And on this slide, we just show some examples of that. Obviously, Agnico had been in Finland for a long time, acquiring and then putting into production the Kittilä gold mine back in the early 2000s. And Of course, folks will remember they invested in Rupert Resources in 2020 before the announcement of the really significant Agnico discovery. And now, of course, they've invested in FireFox. We look around in the belt and we see that Kinross, of course, invested in Orion back in 2017. Again, hoping for more discoveries to come from those relationships. And B2Gold has also been an investor in Orion and a joint venture partner with Orion as well. So around the world, we see this strategy when the bigger gold companies look to the more nimble junior companies to sort of be an extension of their exploration around the world. And that's how we like to see these relationships. And we're really glad to have Agnico Eagle on board as a major shareholder, second only to Crescat Capital on our roster of shareholders.
Now, even before the deal with Agnico Eagle, it was a busy 2023 for the company, where we saw FireFox acquiring new permits, drilling, trenching, and finding high-grade gold. For those new to the story, could you walk us through some of the highlights from last year?
Yeah, if it weren't for the market, Megan, we'd look back on 2023 as a great year. Of course, we all wish that conditions were a little better. Gold price is excellent, but we did get out and do a lot of work last year, and I'll just highlight briefly some of that. I've mentioned the Mustajärvi Discovery already, and we just show some of the drill results that came out early last year to kick things off, and really strong results: 13 grams over 15.5 meters, 13 grams over 15 meters, 14.3 grams over 12.4 meters. And those are just recent results at Mustajärvi that led to continual drilling and trenching and other results later in the year. But also we picked up key permits. This Nutio permit is part of the huge Kolho property that we've now optioned to Agnico Eagle. Again, really important for us to stay on top of permitting in Finland. And when we were granted this permit, that really drew some attention to Kolho, which led to the later option agreement we did with Agnico. The Sarvi property, I'll just remind folks, immediately adjacent to the Agnico discovery of Rupert Resources. So again, really excited to have ongoing work at Sarvi. We'll continue that work there this year. And then again, Mustajärvi came through in the summer of last year. We had more excellent drill results, but significantly, a criticism is, oh, you're finding high grade, but it's in a small footprint. So we stepped out, Megan, over 200 meters away, and we drilled 4.8 grams over 7 meters. And that really helped us understand, where is this new discovery going? Both which direction is it plunging, and is it continuing to depth? And we also trenched. Can you imagine at surface today in the modern world going out somewhere and trenching 59 grams per ton over almost 7 meters right off a paved highway? Well, that's what we did and announced that last summer as well at Mustajärvi. So by the time we got to the end of the year, of course, we were in talks with Agnico Eagle, which led to their strategic investment and really accretive option agreement on our Kolho property, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. So overall, a pretty good year, and definitely worth talking about. I'll just touch on Mustajärvi a little bit. This is a map of the Mustajärvi project, and really it's a kilometer, 1.7 kilometer trend so far, over which we have 100 gram meter drill holes. Pretty exciting, coming to surface. Most of the high grades we drilled last year were in what we call the east target over on this end of the property. We've already highlighted some of those results. We also trenched right off the highway in this part of the property. And so in 3 dimensions, we now have an emerging view of Mustajärvi, which gives us more understanding of what we're finding there and the shape of it and where to look to find more, Megan. And again, we've been talking about the east target. Here you can see these high grade, greater than 10 gram per ton drill intercepts in purple coming to surface. We trenched it in this area as well. And then you can see that step out hole I mentioned, where we hit some nice high grade intercepts over 200 meters away from previous drilling. We've now filled in a little bit more, and we have added 4 drill holes late last year, already drilled, already at the assay lab, and we'll be announcing those drill results before PDAC. Really in the next couple of weeks, we'll have initial holes where we've drilled a little bit deeper, and we've drilled to the south and to the southwest of the known discovery area there at Mustajärvi. So super exciting that that property continues to yield great results. And I just bring it back to the overall view of our land position as we talk about both things that happened last year and things that will happen this year. We're also continuing to work at the CLGB property here, as I mentioned, immediately north of the Agnico discovery of Rupert Resources. And then here at Yesio, our large Yesio property, we're now right next to a joint venture or an option agreement between Kinross and Orion Resources here at the Lowney project. And we've got high-grade gold on this side of the property line that has never been drilled there. So we expect to see more follow-up in that area, potentially drilling here and at CLGB later this year, in addition to Mustajärvi. And here you see the huge Kolho property here that I mentioned earlier as part of the option agreement with Agnico Eagle.
Now, as mentioned, late last year, FireFox entered into an option agreement with Agnico Eagle on your Kolho project. Can you walk us through the terms of the option agreement?
Absolutely. Let's just zoom in on the property and set the stage a little bit. So here's the Agnico discovery, and we have 8 kilometers of property boundary here with Rupert to the north, where we're in the early stages of exploring at CLGB, and this remains 100% FireFox. But in this magnetic image, Megan, you know, you don't have to be a geophysicist to see what's exciting here. You see this warm color. This is the continuing eastwards bending structure that hosts the Ickery and the other Area 1 discoveries of Rupert. And as we come out here to the east, it actually turns and bends around to the north. You can see we've traced it here on the slide. This is a major contact with big structures ripping through there. And this property is over 23 kilometers of that structure, Megan, and that's what's important about it. So a couple of years ago, we got out and pegged this ground with these permit applications, and we were the first mover in this area to do that. So we grabbed the whole thing, Megan, and what happened is Nutio, this permit was granted last year. So now we can do mechanized exploration and drilling here. And really, we'd just gotten started with that work when discussions began about potentially optioning this property. In the end, after a lot of work, we did sign an option agreement that gives Agnico Eagle the right to earn, first, 51% interest by spending US $5 million over a 5-year period of time there. And they're committed to spend $2 million, Megan. So we really like to see that when you're working with a major company. They're going to go out and make sure they invest a couple of $1 million, even if results don't turn out to be what we all hope for. But really, it's the bigger picture. They can acquire up to 75% of this huge property by spending $12.5 million US over an 8-year period of time. So with this early stage property, where we had only invested about $300,000 up to this point, Megan, we would have had to get out there and do base of till sampling, a ton of geophysics, and really a property of this scale. It's really a major target. And we knew early on we would need a major partner to be able to explore it thoroughly. And we found one with the option agreement with Agnico Eagle. So we're thrilled to have them out there working. The work has already begun. And in fact, we've contracted a couple of our geologists that will be working with the Agnico team to explore the Kolho property. So it's an exciting, true partnership there. And the work's already commenced here in the winter. This is all one big swamp through this area, including the Ickery discovery. So we like to have those swamps frozen up when we go do our exploration. This first stage of work, Megan, very minimal environmental impact, and we can get out there and work when the ground is frozen. So work's already underway.
Well, thank you, Patrick. And to cap things off, could you give our listeners an overview of what they can expect from FireFox in 2024?
We're looking forward to an exciting year, Megan. And as I said, we've already got drill results coming in the first quarter here before PDAC from Mustajärvi. We'll also see the first metallurgical testing there on the property probably really get going with data from that in second quarter or so. I'll start to have a look at the metallurgy there. We will see the drill returning to Mustajärvi most likely in the second quarter. So before PDAC, expect some news from us. And in fact, we will have a core shack display at PDAC with some of the drill core from Mustajärvi, including the newest drill holes, which include the deepest drilling we've yet done. And we expect to have that core on display at PDAC as well. Also, in first and second quarter, the Yesio property will pick up again. As I mentioned, we've got high-grade rock chip results with no drilling beneath that area, and we expect to be drilling there probably later in the year, but work will certainly commence in Q2. And Sarvi, right next to the important Ickery discovery, is a big property. We've pushed into a whole new area there where we need to do base of till sampling and geophysics to develop drill targets for later in the year. So we're starting off quite active, and we're looking forward to an exciting 2024, particularly having an even stronger shareholder roster now and the kind of support that a junior explorer needs to go make big discoveries.
Well, once again, we want to thank you for coming on the show today, Patrick, and we'll be watching the company closely and look forward to having you on again very soon.
Thank you very much. Good to be here. Look forward to talking more during 2024, Megan.